In those days, the disciples came to Jesus and asked him a question. And the answer Jesus gave them fascinates me to this day. At that time, the disciples came to Jesus saying, "Who then is greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" Then Jesus called a little child to him, set him in the midst of them, and said, "Assuredly I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever receives one little child like this in my name receives me." The question that I asked myself was, what are the qualities of a little child? What are those characteristics of a little child that we need to imitate to fulfill the criteria to qualify to enter God's kingdom? And I think this is a very important question for each and every one of us. In my analysis, I found a couple of things that we need to be careful of. Of course, there are so many things, but there are three things that stood out. And the first one is comparison. When you look at a child that is laying down there and you go to that baby never compares itself to someone else. And no matter what you do to that child, the child would not be thinking itself as more important than someone else in the world, or having some kind of thoughts that compare itself with another baby or another person in the world. The baby is completely innocent. The baby is just laying there. And what that teaches me is that we as children of God must stop comparing ourselves with others. We grow in pride because we compare ourselves with each other. We compare ourselves to other people around us. Society teaches us to compare ourselves to one another. From the time we start school to sports to all kinds of activities we engage in, we are always competing with one another. And society has made it in such a way that when we compare ourselves with each other, and we discover that we came first or second in a certain area, we think we are more important than others. And this is something you don't find in a child. A child never compares itself with another person. Another thing I found with children is that they easily forgive and forget. If you would come to a little baby that is laying down there and you hit that baby, the baby will obviously cry because it feels pain. But what happens? When next you come to that baby and you play with the baby easily accepts you. The baby doesn't remember that you offended it, that you hurt it. It simply looks at you and smiles. And so that little baby laying down there does not keep any offenses against you. Whenever you come back, the baby is willing to accept you. That is so difficult with us grown-ups, because when we are offended, we keep it in our hearts. We keep these grudges in our hearts, and we find it very difficult to forgive. Yet God wants us to forgive. In fact, God says that if we do not forgive others, He Himself will not forgive us. This is a quality of a child that we need to learn as grown-ups. Not only do we need to stop comparing ourselves with other people, but we need to learn to forgive. We need to learn to forgive and embrace those who have hurt us. Another thing I see with children is the fact that they do not accept praises. Praises that come from people do not affect them at all. If you look at a child laying down there and you come to that child, "Oh, what a beautiful child, what a cute child you are," it doesn't mean anything to that child at all. That child does not understand your language. It's just there, it's just looking at you, happy to have fellowship with you, but it's not really affected by the fact that you say that it's cute, or it's beautiful, or it's handsome, or it's well-dressed, or all that stuff. The child is not affected by all those things. And I was thinking at how we misbehave sometimes. When we receive a little praise from people, we think that we are more important. We think that we are wiser than other people. Just because we get some compliments from people here and there. And some of us have cultivated the habit of even attracting these praises. Whenever we do not get a thank you from somebody, we get offended. Whenever we do not get any appreciation from people we helped, we get offended. But children are not affected by such things. And so God wants us to live a type of life whereby we do not expect anything in return. God wants us to just fellowship with Him and love Him. And that's an attitude that I learned from children. Children do not expect anything in return. They are just there. They just want to have that beautiful fellowship with you. When you come, they open their arms wide to accept you. There are many more characteristics we can learn from children that will help us grow spiritually. Stay blessed in the Lord.